alone. I did not understand what made me free, nor what my freedom is, or where to look to find it. Father, I have searched in vain until I heard your voice, until I heard your voice directing me. Now I would guide myself no more. Now I would guide myself no more. For I have neither made nor understood the way to find my freedom. For I have neither made nor understood the way to find my freedom. But I trust in you, but I trust in you. You who endowed me with my freedom, with my freedom, as your holy Son will not be lost. You who endowed me with my freedom, as your holy Son will not be lost to me, will not be lost to me. Your voice directs me, and the way to you is opening. The way to you is opening and clear to me at last. The way to you is opening and clear to me at last. Father, my freedom is in you alone. Father, it is my will that I return. Father, my freedom is in you alone. Father, it is my will that I return. Father, my freedom is in you alone. Father, my freedom is in you alone. Today we answer for the world, we answer for the world, which will be freed along with us, which will be freed along with us. How glad are we to find our freedom through the certain way our Father, through the certain way our Father has established. And how sure is all the world's salvation when we learn our freedom can be found in God alone. And how sure is all the world's salvation when we learn our freedom can be found in God alone. Father, my freedom is in you alone. Father, my freedom is in you alone. Father, my freedom is in you alone. Well, thank you all so much for joining me in studying Lesson 321 in A Course in Miracles. I'm Forgiveness Willie, teaching forgiveness from the Ozarks here on the World Wide Web, hoping to reach everybody in all geographical settings, or in none. Lesson 321, Father, my freedom is in you alone. I did not understand what made me free, nor what my freedom is, or where to look to find it. Father, I have searched in vain until I heard your voice directing me. Now I would guide myself no more, for I have neither made nor understood the way to find my freedom. But I trust in you. You who endowed me with my freedom as your holy Son will not be lost to me. Your voice directs me, and the way to you is opening and clear to me at last. Father, my freedom is in you alone. Father, it is my will that I return. Father, my freedom is in you alone. Today we answer for the world, which will be freed along with us. How glad are we to find our freedom through the certain way our Father has established. And how sure is all the world's salvation when we learn our freedom can be found in God alone. Father, my freedom is in you alone. Father, my freedom is in you alone. And then back a page, our associated reading for the next 10 days. What is creation? And I might mention that during these 10 days, I'll use a different chord progression for our song or songs. Father, my freedom is in you alone. Father, my freedom is in you alone is C, E minor, D, and G, and then back to C. Anyway, just a repeat little pattern. I've got imagination of getting, as we go along, 10 different melodies for each of these. I think they'll just naturally come about, and we won't have to really make much effort at it as we do them. And then we'll have a 10-part harmony. Anyway, that's kind of my vision. And we can just play for a long time. I've got turkeys up here with me again today. What is creation? Creation is the sum of all God's thoughts, in number infinite and everywhere without all limit. Only love creates, and only like itself. There was no time when all that it created was not there, nor will there be a time when anything that it created suffers any loss. Forever and forever are God's thoughts exactly as they were and as they are, unchanged through time and after time is done. God's thoughts are given all the power that their own Creator has, for He would add to love by its extension. Thus His Son shares in creation and must therefore share in power to create. What God has willed to be forever one will still be one when time is over, and will not be changed throughout the course of time, remaining as it was before the thought of time began. Creation is the opposite of all illusions, for creation is the truth. Creation is the Holy Son of God, for in creation is His will complete in every aspect, making every part container of the whole. Its oneness is forever guaranteed and violate, forever held within His holy will, beyond all possibility of harm, of separation, imperfection, and of any spot upon its sinlessness. We are creation, we the sons of God. We seem to be discreet and unaware of our eternal unity with Him, yet back of all our doubts, past all our fears, there still is certainty. For love remains with all its thoughts, its sureness being theirs. God's memory is in our holy minds, which know their oneness and their unity with their Creator. Let our function be only to let this memory return, only to let God's will be done on earth, only to be restored to sanity, and to be but as God created us. That's returning to sanity when you realize that you have been created as God created you, and you will forever remain. And the last paragraph, 5. Our Father calls to us. We hear His voice and we forgive creation in the name of its Creator, holiness itself, whose holiness His own creation shares, whose holiness is still a part of us. Okay, let's go take a look in our Manual for Teachers reading. Can God be reached directly? Okay. And let's bring our attention back to our lesson for a moment. Father, and can God be reached directly is number 26 in the Manual for Teachers, which should be about the same whether you're reading from the Foundation for Inner Peace version or from the original edition. We're reading from the Foundation for Inner Peace version, but the original edition is almost identical. And same titles. Can God be reached directly? And in your practice, when you get up in the morning, be sure to bring that idea to your mind. Father, my freedom is in you alone. Read the lesson, and then sit in the silence for a little while, and till your cup runneth over. And then go out throughout the day, and every hour of the day, bring that memory to your mind. Father, my freedom is in you alone. Try for the top of the hour, but sometime during each hour, tell yourself, Father, my freedom is in you alone. And then be sure you're feeling free. Are you at peace? Do you feel joy? Are you grateful? Are you thankful for what's happened in your life and what's happening? Ask for direction, but be sure you're at peace and feeling the joy of our Lord. Okay, and then as you go retire tonight, again, bring it to your memory and take an extended period to just be still and quiet with this idea, Father, my freedom is in you alone. Okay, now in the Manual for Teachers, can God be reached directly? God indeed can be reached directly, for there is no distance between him and his Son. His awareness is in everyone's memory, and his word is written on everyone's heart. Yet this awareness and this memory can arise across the threshold of recognition only where all barriers to truth can be removed or have been removed. Yet this awareness, that God's memory is in our hearts, his word is written on our hearts, and his memory is in everyone. Yet this awareness and this memory can arise across the threshold of recognition only where all barriers to truth have been removed. In how many is this the case? Here then is the role of God's teachers. They too have not attained the necessary understanding as yet, but they have joined with others. This is what sets them apart from the world, and it is this that enables others to leave the world with them. Alone they are nothing, but in their joining is the power of God. Paragraph 2. There are those who have reached God directly, retaining no trace of worldly limits and remembering their own identity perfectly. These might be called the teachers of teachers, because although they are no longer visible, their image can yet be called upon. And that's what I like to think, that I'm basically inspiring young new students to be teachers of teachers. Just, imitate what I'm doing in some sense, and, and share the same message with others. But, we're all teachers, and the ones of us that are awakening to the realization that we're teachers and that we teach what we want to learn, we begin to realize our oneness with our brothers and our sisters, and how important it is to teach them what we want to learn. Paragraph 2 again. There are those who have reached God directly, retaining no trace of worldly limits and remembering their own identity perfectly. These might be called the teachers of teachers, because although they are no longer visible, their image can yet be called upon, and they will appear when and where it is helpful for them to do so. To those to whom such appearances would be frightening, they give their ideas. No one can call on them in vain, nor is there anyone of whom they are unaware. All needs are known to them, and all mistakes are recognized and overlooked by them. The time will come when this is understood, and meanwhile they give all their gifts to the teachers of God, who look to them for help, asking all things in their name and in no other. Paragraph 3. Sometimes a teacher of God may have a brief experience of direct union with God. In this world, it is almost impossible that this endure. Wow, the experience of direct union with God. Turkey that's getting ready to put his feathers in front of the camera. Sometimes a teacher of God may have a brief experience of direct union with God. In this world, it is almost impossible that this endure. It can perhaps be won after much devotion and dedication, and then be maintained for much of the time on earth. But this is so rare that it cannot be considered a realistic goal. Wow. If it happens, so be it. If it does not happen, so be it as well. All worldly states must be illusory. So whether it happens in the illusion or doesn't happen in the illusion, it's still an illusion. All worldly states must be illusory. If God were reached directly in sustained awareness, the body would not be long maintained. Those who have laid the body down merely to extend their helpfulness to those remaining behind are few indeed. And they need helpers who are still in bondage and still asleep, so that by their awakening can God's voice be heard. Wow, we have, even when we're asleep and we're waking up, we have a great function by the teachers of teachers that are on the more subtle plane, what I like to think of as the causal plane, where we've all kind of gotten together and decided what we want to have an effect in this world. Well, we're starting to reach back and realize we're all interconnected, and that means we're interconnected with the teachers of teachers that are maybe beyond the world. And don't be frightened if they appear to you in all their glory, but usually they appear with their ideas because they don't want to scare us. Paragraph 4. Let's see, this will be the last paragraph. That last sentence in prior paragraph 3. And they need helpers who are still in bondage. That'd be us, huh? And still asleep. We're asleep a lot, aren't we? So that by their awakening can God's voice be heard. So by our awakening can God's voice be heard. I got to put my foot up here on my umbrella sometimes because the wind's blowing pretty strong. And that's what I did when I was playing my guitar. I had to reach over and grab my foot. So I'll just lay my foot over here like that. Got my foot hanging over like I'm lounging here in the bamboo. And did I say that this is lesson 321 for Monday, November the 17th of 2025? I know I introduced myself, who I am. We are reading from the Foundation for Inner Peace version of A Course in Miracles, which I did say that is very similar to the original edition if you're following along out of that. Okay, the last paragraph of Manual for Teachers number 26, Can God Be Reached Directly? Do not despair then because of limitations, because as you're awakening, you're reminding others that they can awaken. You're doing great work in the world. It is your function to escape from them, but not to be without limitations. If you would be heard by those who suffer, you must speak their language. If you would be a savior, you must understand what needs to be escaped. Salvation is not theoretical. Behold the problem, ask for the answer, and then accept it when it comes. Nor will its coming be long delayed. All the help you can accept will be provided, and not one need you have will not be met. Let us not then be too concerned with goals for which you are not ready. God takes you where you are and welcomes you. Isn't that nice? When we're asleep, even when we're in delusion, He still accepts us where we're at and welcomes us. God takes you where you are and welcomes you. What more could you desire when this is all you need? You know, and we can actually do that with our brothers and sisters. I recently had one of my family members that wasn't really happy about looking inside and trying to find out what made them tick, and I thought they would be interested in that. Made them quite upset. So I came away scratching my head wondering, what in the world did I do? Well, basically I went too fast. I didn't just welcome them where they were at. You know, if they're still believing that toys are real and that little spring-loaded bears that jump out of boxes are real, and well, then I need to accept them for where they're at. And this is what we can pray that they see the things that will make them happier, which is what salvation is. But don't ever push someone beyond what they're ready for. Just welcome them where they're at, like God does to us. Okay, let's see. Father, my freedom is in you alone. Let's see what's going on around the world today from holidays and observances. I didn't find any world holidays going on, like religious holidays. But it's Electronic Greeting Card Day. I found it Homemade Bread Day. And if you've got a bread maker or if you just want to make bread, here's a really good recipe that I use. 2 cups of whole wheat flour, 1 cup of water, 1.5 tablespoons of honey, 1 tablespoon of olive oil, 1.5 teaspoons of salt, and 1.5 teaspoons of instant yeast. And set it on your your whole wheat setting. Oh, that water should be warm water, by the way. That'll help activate it quicker. Okay, and then anyway, so it's Homemade Bread Day, and a lot of people like to take mainly whole wheat, but a little bit of unbleached white flour, make it rise a little better. And I've heard some people putting gluten in it. So unless you're on a gluten-free diet, of course, whole wheat has gluten in it. There's other wheats that don't have much gluten. They won't rise as much, like spelt, ancient wheat, basically. But I understand it's very low amount of gluten, and it also is a type of gluten, evidently, that doesn't have the same effect on people that are gluten sensitive. But do a little research on that. I'm not sure. I don't think I'm gluten sensitive. I might be and didn't even know it. International Students Day. We're all students, aren't we? All around the world. A lot of us don't even know we're in school, but that's what this planet is. A good friend of mine, Dave Sprinkle, one time when he came to me and he said, "Well, I think I finally realized that everyone here is in school." This is what this planet is a school. Baklava Day. If you like baklava, today's your day. Black Cat Day, the Felis catus. Farm Joke Day. And here's a meteorologist's and a cow's farm joke. It's basically the golden rule for meteorologists and cows. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Corny joke there. My kids always said I was a master of corny jokes. I expect that's probably accurate. My mom always encouraged me to tell a joke, listen to a joke. Take a Hike Day. Unfriend Day. I would not recommend that at any cost. Let everyone be your friend. There might be some friends that you don't talk to because they're not ready for you or you're not ready for them, but everyone who meets will meet again because we're all friends. We're all one in God. The Little Mermaid Day and World Prematurity Awareness Day. And if you have a child that's born premature, there's amazing what they can do, keeping the heat up because their bodies don't regulate heat, keep them in a really sterile environment, helping them with their breathing. There's lots of things that we should know about taking care of little ones that are born a little bit before they were ready to get out of mama. Okay, and then out of Seed Savers Exchange, we've got a Macomer rutabaga. Oh, Macomer. A Macomer rutabaga. And remember, you can eat the greens on these rutabagas, so you don't have to wait just for the root. But this one it's a Brassica napus, popularized in Westport, Massachusetts, by brothers Aiden and Elihu Macomer, who brought seed home from the 1876 Philadelphia Centennial Expedition. Seed Savers Exchange stock is from Russell Davis, a Westport farmer who obtained it in 1940, known for its smooth skin, which is easily cleaned for market. Roots are large and white with either green or purple shoulders. 100 days. And let's, for our word for peace today, since there's still so much difficulty with our brothers in Israel and Palestine, let's use the Arabic word for peace. We did the Hebrew word yesterday, which was shalom. Today, let's use Salaam. Salaam be with you, or Assalamu alaikum, and you would answer alaikum assalam. Okay, let's see. Let's finish with our song. Father, my freedom is in you alone. Thank you all so much for joining me. Salaam. Father, my freedom is in you alone. Father, my freedom is in you alone. I did not understand what made me free, nor what my freedom is, nor where to look to find it. Father, I have searched in vain until I heard your voice directing me. Now I would guide myself no more, I would guide myself no more. For I have neither made nor understood the way to find my freedom. But I trust in you, but I trust in you. You have endowed me with my freedom, as your Holy Son will not be. Your Holy Son will not be lost to me. Your voice directs me, and the way to you is opening and clear to me at last. Father, my freedom is in you alone. Father, it is my will that I return. Father, my freedom is in you alone. Father, my freedom is in you alone. Today we answer for the world, which will be freed along with us. How glad we are to find our freedom through the certain way. Through the certain way our Father has established. And how sure is all the world's salvation when we learn our freedom can be. When we learn our freedom can be found in God alone. And how sure is all the world's salvation when we learn our freedom can be found in God alone. Father, my freedom is in you alone. Father, my freedom is in you alone. Assalamu alaikum. Salam for peace. Assalamu alaikum. Father, my freedom is in you alone. Salam.